Hi, and welcome to your Platterful monthly tutorial. Let's get started. First, we're going to start with our sea salt cheddar Gruyere, so go ahead and you can take that one out of the wrapper. Okay, for cutting this one up first, we are going to cut this square in half, so we'll have two rectangles, and then we're going to spin it and we're going to cut those simultaneously all the way up so that we have about 1/4 inch slices of those two rectangles fully. Okay, for placement of this, we're just going to be able to take the small slices of our one rectangle and we're going to be able to layer those out, kind of overlapping each other as you'll see me do in the video. We will be able to do this in different motions on our board when we actually place them, but this is kind of the style we will use for placing this cheddar Gruyere. Okay, up next we have our cheese spread from Pine River. So for this one, it's going to be pretty easy. We are just going to remove the film, that covering over the top, and then I'm going to take one of the spreaders that's actually included in your kit, and I'm going to whip mine around so that it looks a little bit more inviting and not just like it was just opened, so that people can actually dig into it and dive in and enjoy the spread. And lastly, for our large kits, we have this smoked Gouda round. So go ahead and start removing the wrapper and casing from this one. Okay, for slicing this one, we are first going to cut it in half, spin it, cut it in half, and keep doing that until we end up with 8 slices. Then we'll remove that outer casing, that outer wax from the Gouda, and you can toss that. Okay, up next we're going to take our little wedges that we've created and we're going to actually cut those in half. The wedges are pretty thick, so cutting them in half, just one, gives us a lot more pieces of cheese on our board to work with, but also makes them a little bit more bite-sized rather than the larger wedges. There are 2 different placement types we're going to do with this. The first one is going to be this kind of zigzag motion with our little wedges. So taking them and flipping them, facing with the larger side on the left, then on the right, then on the left, then on the right, as you'll see me do in the video. Up next, we're going to take the little wedges and we're actually going to place them flat rather than on their sides. And we're going to create this really nice, again, kind of like a zigzag motion with them facing one way and then flipping them and facing the other way, as you'll see me do in the video. In this version, we can actually wind it around when we move it to our boards. Now, I did randomly have 2 extra pieces that I somehow cut different than the rest of them, so I'm gonna actually use those for a different placement, but if you didn't make this mistake like I did, then you can use those on either your zigzag or your zipper. Okay, up first for our meats, we have this really nice truffle salami chub from Giorgio's Naturals. So go ahead, take this one out of the wrapper, then there is going to be a plastic casing on the outside, remove that, and then there's actually going to be another plastic casing inside of that we're also going to remove. The way I like to do this is to actually cut off one of the tips of the chub and then get underneath that casing with my scissors and make a little cut, and then it allows me to pull it back and remove that casing from the actual chub itself. Okay, for the slicing of our chub, we are just going to do that about 1/4 inch all the way down the chub. Use a really sharp knife and just slice all the way down. For this and for placement, we're just going to be able to take these slices and wind them around different things and trace different things like cheeses when we actually place them on our board. Here I'll show you, I'm just gonna do like a little clump, a little pile of the salami pieces, and then I'm gonna also show you quickly how to do the lining up of them. And this is what we'll do to trace the different cheeses on our board. Lastly, for our large kits, we do have a sliced Toscano salami from Ollie, so go ahead and take this one out of the wrapper. You'll have 2 sleeves of sliced salami. Okay, so for the first sleeve of salami, we're gonna go ahead and take that and we're going to fold these slices into fourths. So fold it in half again. Do that for the entire sleeve. When we place these on our board, we will actually outline a couple things, put a little section in one area. So there is a lot of this, so we will have a couple of different placements for that. Okay, up next with the sliced salami, we are going to do a salami rose. So go ahead and lay out 7 pieces of salami, overlapping them almost fully. So about, I would say like 3/4, a little bit more than 3/4 of the way. And you're just going to lay those out, fold it in half like a taco. Then you're going to spin it like you'll see me do in the video. And then you're going to roll, 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 roll. You can then grab it from the bottom, cup it with the palm of your hand, and you can use your fingers to kind of spread out the petals. Another tip is you can actually take the ramekin that you have for your spreadable, and you can actually place your rose in that as well. This just helps hold it in place a little bit better, so you can either use that ramekin for your rose or for your spreadable. Okay, now we're ready to make our standard board. If you got our large kit, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the large kit build, which you can find that exact time in the notes or below this video or in the notes if you're on YouTube.